I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, yeah. This is the Hot AF Show. I'm Mike Smith. I'm here with my son, Jet.
Hello.
And that's J-E-T-T for all you that want to say Jeff. Anyway, welcome, Jet.
Hello. I'm glad to be here.
Tell everyone a little bit about yourself, your age, your gender.
I'm 11. I consider myself as male.
Because there's only, how many genders?
2.
There you go. Anyway, moving on. What grade are you in? Or what grade are you going into if COVID doesn't get us?
6th.
6th. You're going to be turning 12?
Yeah.
Okay, next month. Mm-hmm. I forgot that. I was going to say you're 10, turning 11. But anyway, you get to be my age and you have all these kids to keep track of. You lose count. Okay, my dude. What's today's... So, by the way, it's raining today. And of course it's raining because guess what? I got my truck washed. And I told my other son that went with me, I said, watch this, dude. I'm going to get the truck washed. And it'll be all clean for about, I don't know, until we get home. And sure as we get home a little bit later, boom, thundering and lightning and storming and raining and all that kind of junk. So my truck is living up to the Mike Luck of getting cleaned and then it rains.
Yeah, I wish the rain was my girlfriend. I mean, it's only annoying sometimes.
There you have it. That's enough for this show. I can't top that joke. Where did you learn that? Fortnite?
No, I don't play that game anymore.
What do you play?
This game called Valorant.
Valorant. Are there tournaments in Valorant?
Yes, I'm not sure if there's like a few like official tournaments, but
okay, do people get paid?
Yeah. Am I old enough to get paid? I do not think so.
Well, you can play as me. You play.
That's technically illegal.
No, it's not.
I can't play as you.
You play and you win, and if they need age verification, I'll get on there and I'll be like, yeah, what's up? I'm a gamer.
You don't look like one.
Do you want to get paid or not?
Well, if I was old enough, I definitely would.
You are old enough. If you were in China, you'd be in a Nike factory right now working.
Okay.
Wait, do we buy Nike?
I assume you do. We do, because I believe they dropped their deal with Colin Kaepernick.
But did we buy Nike during all the anti-American, anti-patriotism backing?
No.
All right.
We only bought Under Armour. That's why I have an Under Armour shirt on right now.
Yeah, I don't have an Under Armour shirt on today. I've got a Glock shirt on. So shout out to my official sidearm, Glock Perfection, safe action pistols. And what are we going to talk about today, Jet?
Whatever.
What are you disappointed that basketball season was canceled? And
no, it's not canceled. They're doing a restart sometime. I think it's like July 20 something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Any fans in the stadium?
No.
Or the arena?
No.
How boring is that going to be?
Well, you're just going to be able to watch the game.
Well,
I mean, I watched soccer, and that was even more boring.
Yeah, well, let's keep this conversation about real sports. Okay?
I played soccer for
Well, that's what you do when you're a little kid. You know.
The Braves aren't doing too good in baseball.
You know, I don't even have time to watch TV anymore or follow sports. I don't know that baseball season was even going on. I don't know, like I mentioned about football or basketball. I didn't know that the season was going to be postponed and even start. Oh. And then they're going to have the arenas full with no fans. Now, granted, I'll go to a basketball game because you can get in and out.
We never were able to.
We got screwed, yeah. But you can get in and out of the game. And how long's a basketball game? 2 hours?
Yeah.
Total. I can do that. But, a football game,
that's like
frankly,
much
at
longer.
the end of the day, unless it's like a big game, I'd rather just watch it from home.
Yeah.
Out by the pool or something, have the TV on and
well, I mean, the big game tickets are like super expensive too.
I know.
I
remember when Auburn played Oregon in the national championship for football back in the 2010-11 season.
Yeah.
And I had just gotten this American Express card that had a concierge where they would do a concierge is someone that like does stuff for you, at a hotel if you need dinner reservations or show tickets or whatever. You talk to them and they kind of organize it all, right? So American Express had a concierge as part of the member service. Yep. And I was like, all right. So sometimes you get tickets to, or pre-advance, same damn thing. You get advanced tickets or pre-sales, whatever.
Yeah.
So Auburn gets in. I call the American Express concierge and I tell them, hey, I want to go to this game. Yes, sir, Mr. Smith. We'll look right into it. And of course, tickets were like not available. It sells out.
Yeah.
Like immediately. And I should have saved the voicemail. They had to get back to me. They're like, let us trying to get all the, when I want to go, like the dates, the travel arrangements, all that kind of stuff. Looking for tickets, yada, yada, because they have different brokers and access here, access there, whatever. Uh-huh. So like the next day or the day after or whatever, I got a call that I missed and she left a voicemail. And if you don't know what a voicemail is.
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because what do you consider? You're not a millennial. You're a Zer?
Gen Z.
Gen Z?
Yeah.
All right. See, I'm keeping up. I'm on track with keeping up with you. Z. What comes after Z? What are they going to call it?
I don't know. Maybe like, hold on.
You're going to look it up.
What is the generation after Z?
To allow web search content.
So you have an Indian Siri?
Yeah.
Hey, Cade walks in. What's up, buddy? We're doing a podcast.
Now, oh.
Cade's doing a Fortnite dance?
No, he's twerking, Dad.
Twerking? Cade's 6 and he knows how to twerk. We secured the Parenting of the Year award with that behavior.
Get up.
Might bring Cade on one of these. He's the light of the party. All right, dude, be good. Keep the dogs quiet.
You should get a lock on here.
I should. I'm also going to get probably like a neon like bar sign or recording sign that like lights up recording. Mm-hmm. So don't come in. But it doesn't matter, Jed. If I lock the door, you and your brothers will friggin' knock and annoy me every 2 freaking minutes for something. Anyway, get back. Wait, so you have an Indian Siri?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay, I respect Indians. They're good people. I just didn't know that you could have a nationality as a, I didn't know you could select that. So maybe
you can change your Siri.
Maybe I'm not, tracking with you Gen Zers. Anyway, we'll look that up. So going back, American Express calls me and leaves me a voicemail. Mm-hmm. And they're like, Mr. Smith, this is American Express for, blah, 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 blah. We're getting back to you. We found tickets. You have like 2 options. The first one is section, like, I don't know, freaking nosebleed section, like way up in the stadium.
Yeah.
And the price of that is $4,282.
That is insane.
For one seat, $4,000.
One seat.
Then, if you want to sit a little bit closer, we have a seat in this section, which was like corner of the end zone. Still sucks.
Yeah.
But it was $6,800.
Uh-oh.
These are going really quickly, so please give us a call back immediately if you want to move forward. And, okay, I'm an Auburn fan. Uh-huh. I went to Auburn, as you know.
Yeah.
I went there to play football, but apparently wasn't good enough. Thanks, Tuberville. Actually, congratulations, Tuberville, on your Jeff Sessions victory in Alabama. But anyway, so I'm not going now. And I'm defeated, like, I'm not going to spend $6,000
On a terrible seat.
on a ticket. Plus, it was getting out there. All the airlines out of Atlanta, Birmingham, wherever were just completely booked. Hotel, like it was like going to be a logistical issue. So I got a friend.
Wait, did you go?
Let me finish the story.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just want to know.
Hey, spoiler alert, I went.
Oh.
So I got a friend, right, that had company tickets. They got it. He went to Auburn. He was my roommate at my condo in Atlanta.
Oh.
Before you were even a thought. I was dating your mom, though, at the time. So anyhow, my buddy Chris, they have a company, a block of tickets, and a private jet. And you know how I feel about private aircraft.
Yes, you really like those.
I mean, hell, your name is Jet. I'm just adding a T. So, of course, it's an 8-seater. And I talked to him. I'm like, hey, man, what's up? You got all those tickets accounted for? He's like, man, we got some clients or something. Or it was like a client and or one of their employees. He's like, we have 8 seats. He goes, but you're number 9. And I was like, oh, thank you very little there, Chris. I'm number 9 and there's 8, great. And they're Auburn fans. So like no one's backing out of this.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm not going to this game. So I'll never forget it. I get a call on a Friday evening. Chris calls and this is Friday. The game is on Monday. Uh-huh. He's like, hey man. I'm like, hey, bleep word, right? He's like, you still want to go to that game? And I said, Chris, STFU, like, I'm not, like, don't mess with me with this. He's like, no, dude, I'm serious. He goes, if you can be at the airport on Sunday by, I think it was like wheels up at 4 p.m. And I was like, you're not kidding me. You never saw Dumb and Dumber. You better not be fooling me, man. He's like, no, dude, for real. Like, just get here on Sunday, like 3:30 or whatever, but we're going to try to get wheels up at 4. I almost died right there. Like, not only am I going to the game, but I'm getting to fly there on a private jet.
Yeah, that's...
With buddies, because I knew a few of the guys that were going. They all worked for him.
Wait, so you were still number 9?
Well, number 8 backed out because something came up where it was big enough for him to have to back out. Mm-hmm. So what happens when number 8 drops out? Number 9 goes into number 8, right? Uh-huh. So I am just over the moon, freaking out, like excited. This is going to be so awesome. And sure enough, flying private is the way to go because you pull up to the private airport. Uh-huh. They had a hangar, so I parked my car in the hangar. Uh-huh. Security was you literally give your I gave my bag to the pilot that was loading the luggage, walk right up in the airplane. That was the security check. Like, there's nothing. No pat downs, no, hey, let me see your phone because you had tracking software on it that they were able to see when we were in Vail.
Because my mom could just disable my apps for a certain amount of time. And they were like,
by the way,
God.
so let me interject real fast. So we've got this parenting spy, manipulate your kid's phone or block their phone from stuff. And we go through the airport. We're flying out of Vail back to Florida, and we get stopped at the security. And I've got pre-check and all that kind of stuff. And they stop my 10-year-old kid and are kind of looking at him like, hey, we need your phone. And I'm like, really, guys? I mean, we're a family here. Do we look like terrorists? I mean, goodness gracious. And they weren't very nice. So I will say that. I mean, the TSA at the Vail airport, once you get an attitude change, people, Anyway, yeah. So they were able to somehow, some way, whether it was through the X-ray, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, they put it like through like an X-ray thing.
Okay, so if you put it through an X-ray, like an X-ray that's able to detect software. I'm not some techie, but I never heard of that. So anyway, long story. So walk on the plane. Buddies are there. We crack open beers. Doors shut. We take off, and it is like a rocket, So we land in Arizona. We have black SUVs pick us up. Mm-hmm. And it was just first class premium all the way. Our tickets were insane. We were 40-something yard line, like lower level. And I remember, so we get out there, and apparently tickets were going for like $8,000. They just kept going up. And I looked at Chris, and I was like, hey, Chris, we like Auburn and stuff, but you want to just you want to sell these puppies and just like go to the bar, tear it down, kind of joking, but not really. So anyway, that was Cam Newton's year.
Yeah.
Right?
The 1 year.
It was an awesome game, awesome experience. And this is the best part. Well, not for Mom, but the best part was there was a snowstorm coming in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And we're at breakfast on Tuesday morning.
Or actually, I want to hear something. What was your reaction when they won?
Oh, it was like, finally.
Were you like jumping up and down?
Oh yeah, we were partying. So Tuesday morning at breakfast, we're sitting down, and the pilot went with us. Like, he was a cool dude, and he sits down with us, and he's like, "All right, guys, because we're tracking this snowstorm." He's like, "We can leave in an hour and a half, or if we don't leave in an hour and a half, we are going to be stuck here or somewhere for, 2 or 3 days, because they're shutting the airports down." So we're all looking around the table and kind of looking at the boss man, Chris's dad, and he's looking at us, and he was like, "You guys want to go to, the Bahamas or something and play golf?" And we're all like, "Oh yeah." And Chris had just had a baby that was like days old, like 2 weeks or something like that, right? So I know his wife wasn't too thrilled about doing this trip with such a new baby at the time, and I believe it was their first baby too. So, so he was like, "Dad, gosh, I'd love to, but she'll kill me if I don't get back." So that made the decision pretty easy for the decision makers there. So anyway, we get on the plane. Which it was cool going back to Nike as we're heading out. The Phil Knight, the founder of Nike, as we're on the kind of in line to take off, we see his big, huge Gulfstream. It was a G550, I believe. It was just this beautiful airplane, and the tag number or the tail number, which is like your license plate. Mm-hmm. It was N1KE. So Nike 1 Kilo Echo for Nike. It was just so awesome. Anyway, we ended up getting into Atlanta. We're the last plane that the airport allowed in.
Really?
And it was like a snowmageddon. And your mom was so upset because here I am, like in 75-degree weather playing golf, private jet out to a national championship game, and she's stuck at home.
In a snowstorm.
Completely iced in, pregnant with a little toddler, and can't do anything. And here I am living it up. So
yeah.
So that was the coolest trip.
All right. Well, now that we're done with that.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of ranted on for 20 minutes.
All right. Now,
what's next?
Let's do what you think are the top players in the NFL. Who do you think?
Well, let's not kid ourselves. Who's the greatest player right now?
The best player right now?
Yeah.
I'm going to give it...
It's Tom Brady. He's a Buccaneer now, dude. It's our home team. He's the GOAT.
But
and are we talking active players? Are we talking in history? Are we talking only players that haven't played or that aren't playing anymore? Like, what are we saying? Top
Players
of all time?
Yeah, of all time.
Ooh, well,
I think number 1 can definitely go to Tom Brady.
are we talking any position?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, you got to give it to Tom Brady based on Super Bowl rings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I was starting out a team today, that's the way I would look at it. And I could have anyone. So, yeah, I'd have Tom Brady. I'd have Bo Jackson.
It's number 2?
No, you're right. I was just thinking.
Oh,
out
number
of the
2,
top 10.
I'm going to give that to Joe Montana.
Okay. If we're going to go in order, I'm just not good at this because I don't know all the I don't know what I did. I can't remember what I did yesterday, Jet, let alone freaking think about players on a football team or era. But no, you got to put Bo Jackson in there somewhere. Tecmo Bowl, I showed you that video, right? Of it was just unfair as a kid.
And then remember when I put Bo Jackson in Madden?
Yeah, like it was unfair when as a kid you're playing Tecmo Bowl and the other person was the LA Raiders and they had Bo Jackson and you couldn't tackle him. He was every time he got the ball it was a touchdown. It was hilarious.
Because of how fast he was, and
Yeah, and then I would put put up there Julio Jones
in top 10.
in the top 10. Absolutely.
That's arguable, I guess. I mean, he's greatest receiver in Falcons history, one of the greatest receivers, and quite a few people actually said that he should have been in the NFL top 100 receivers. Like they had positions like 1, 2, and 3 receivers, like whatever, offense and defense. They put Steve Largent or Gent or whatever, who was on the Seahawks, who was like some white dude or something. And
Why do you have to label him white, Jet?
I don't know, because
I'm joking because he's white. Who cares? People are so sensitive these days. I'm trying to raise you boys to not be so sensitive. Take a joke. If someone wants to call you a white boy, don't take offense to it because you are.
But he's just this guy who wasn't like the fastest, mainly just like a slot receiver. But some people were like, okay, if you put him in, you should have put Julio in instead.
Yeah.
Because he was just like a no-name kind of.
Well,
it's kind Seahawks
of
fans.
It's kind of unfair though to say who are the top players of all time, because it's almost like, look, if you're a tackle or a guard, you can't compare that position to what's called a skilled position, right? Like a quarterback, receiver, a defensive back. Those types of players.
Usually the ones who are stars.
Yeah, you could sit there and say, all right, who's the best kicker of all time? Kickers are very important to the game.
But no one ever talks about them.
Yeah. Who played the longest, who has the best, you're looking at stats. It's just so hard to say who's the best.
Well, I think
period.
Calvin Johnson, if you've ever heard of
awesome.
him, Megatron, I think he's like a top maybe 3 receiver of all time.
Yep.
Because he didn't play that long. He retired early because of the Lions kind of suck.
Yep. And Matthew Stafford still gets paid.
Yep.
Good guy. I already talked about this on a previous show. Good guy. Okay, quarterback, hasn't done anything, but to make that kind of money, it's just mind-boggling.
Yeah, but Calvin Johnson,
Yep.
Megatron, 6'5", like 200-something pounds.
All right, keep going. Who else do you think?
I don't know if I can put Julio in the top 10.
Really?
I don't. As much as I
Wow,
like
dude.
the Falcons, I don't think I can.
This wasn't about the Falcons. This was just about...
I know, just in general, I don't think I can.
If you wanted a receiver on your team and you could pick any receiver
Of all time?
of all time, you wouldn't put Julio Jones up there?
Well, he wouldn't be my first pick. Jerry Rice would be my first pick.
Jerry Rice, good call. That guy was good.
He'd probably be my third pick.
Yeah.
I do Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, and then Calvin.
Okay, what about running backs?
Running backs. My top 3 running backs of all time. Well, here's what I've always told my friends, and none of them agree with me, though. I think that if Bo Jackson played as long as Emmitt Smith and had Emmitt Smith's team across his career, he would have put up better stats and just been known as as the overall better player.
Yeah.
He was faster, stronger, because apparently, I'm not sure if this is true, but he ran like a 4.19 Bo.
Jeez.
And that's supposed to be the fastest of all time, but I'm not sure if that's true. He says it's true, but I don't know. But I think that Bo Jackson is like the greatest all-around athlete of all time.
Of course.
Hall of Fame, 2 sports. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. All right, we're not okay. Let me back up because I don't want to ramble on and bore people here. We're just going to take no particular order the top players.
Okay.
We've got Brady, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice.
Maybe.
I'm throwing in Julio. All right, Bo Jackson's going to be up there because he was awesome all around. He played multiple sports too. So did Deion Sanders. You don't get that anymore. Michael Jordan tried to.
He was not good at baseball.
Yeah, but he's still an athlete. Tim Tebow, same thing.
Tim Tebow wasn't very good at football. But I mean, made it to the NFL, so you got to be good.
He wasn't bad.
He wasn't bad if he made it to the NFL, but
Okay. How about this?
in college he was amazing.
I would have rather had Tebow than Kaepernick.
Well, that's off of your political views.
Well,
Kaepernick led his team to a Super Bowl.
Tim Tebow is a better dude overall.
I guess I can agree with that, yeah.
There you go.
But when it comes to sports,
It's not all about winning, Jet.
that's the main goal of every team.
Actually, yes, it is.
Yeah.
But do we participate in the participation trophies in our house?
No.
No. What happens when you lose a game, like when you lost with football season, when you guys would lose games and stuff, or soccer? What did I always tell you after every game? Losing was what?
Good for you?
There you go.
It made you better.
There you go.
But if you win, that's even better than losing.
Yeah, I said losing makes winning that much better.
Yeah.
And all these kids that are on these teams that are stacked.
Because their
the
dad
parents-
is like the owner of the league.
Well, and the parents play buddy politics, get my kid on this team and blah, 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 blah. And then they put the other kids that are new to the area or new to the league.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the leftovers on all the other teams.
Yeah.
And then this one team just crushes everyone. Those little kids grow up with such a punch in the face later on in life when they're
They
just
lose.
used to winning. Win, And then all of a sudden reality hits them, like real life hits them where it's like, you're not always going to be on the A-list team. And you might think you're awesome, but when you don't have an awesome team around you, you alone, you're not that good. And all of a sudden, like they start losing their mind and freaking out, having mental, challenges and whatever, all because as a little kid, it was so easy. They always won because they were always on the stacked teams.
Yeah.
Then they get into a job where,
They're not making the most money.
or I mean, even backing up before then, they get into college, and a lot of these players are good, and like on these little league teams, and they're only getting better. And these parents are pushing and pushing and pushing and going to practice, freaking 12 days a week, it seems, right?
Yeah.
All
12
because
days a week?
It's an exaggeration. All because they think that the kids are going to get a scholarship to play at a D1 school.
And they're just going to go to the NFL.
Yeah. And the problem with that is, you got to have goals and strive for it. But a lot of times it's not the kids that want it. It's the parents that want it.
Yeah, they're like, let's make me this money.
Or it's, hey, I didn't play or I wasn't good as a kid, so I'm going to live through you. There's a lot of people out there that are like that. In fact, I knew a kid that I played baseball with in Little League. Mm-hmm. His dad rode his butt so hard. He was a pitcher. He was one of the best pitchers in the league. I still even remember his name. But his dad was the coach and was just a butthead too. Yelling and, it's like he would throw an almost perfect game and the dad would complain to him that he didn't throw the perfect game, like, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so long story short is that he ended up killing himself.
What?
He just couldn't take it anymore because his dad just rode him and rode him and rode him. And then, he killed himself. So
That's really bad.
it's really sad. Yeah.
The dad probably felt so guilty.
There's nothing wrong with being competitive. Not at all. There's nothing wrong with winning and wanting to win. In fact, that's why you play is you play to win. You don't play to lose.
Unless you're tanking.
But when you
New York Knicks.
but when you do lose, it's like, all right, how am I going to get better? I'm going to get back up. I'm not going to quit. What am I going to learn from this? How am I going to get better? And the next game, I'm going to go out and hopefully not repeat the same